views you get in London of the magnificent dome of St Paul's Cathedral. Up to your left, the dome of Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. Now St Paul's, it was completed in 1710. It was the tallest building in London right up until 1962. Before then, it was actually illegal to build anything taller. It took 35 years to build, and the architect himself, he's buried in there, buried in the crypt, alongside Lord Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. Now, a little secret for you folks, okay? If you're here in London for the weekend, you can actually visit St Paul's for free. Okay, on a Sunday morning, you are invited to take part in the Sunday service. So it's an active place of worship for the Church of England. So it's free to go in there on a Sunday morning. However, they do have a collection. Like most churches, they get you at the end, and they do have a collection. That's very tranquil, very quiet, very peaceful in there. So they encourage the silent donation, 5, 10, 20, 50 pound notes. The English banknotes is preferable. On your right, the white circular building with the thatched roof. This is, of course, William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Okay, they reenact all of the old plays in there. So it's an exact replica to the style of playhouse that would have stood here in the area of Bankside. So in the Elizabethan era in London, this is where you went for your live entertainments. So there's no stage lighting, no amplification. All plays are performed in the traditional manner, and you can go and see a play in there for as little as £10 each. So it's only a tenner, which is very good value for live entertainment. Now, just here before the bridge on your right, there's a staircase. Okay, now historically, this is how you would have travelled on the river. It's certainly how you would have crossed the river before the bridges in London. You'd have walked down these steps and you would have boarded a waterman's ferry. Okay, you would have paid your fare in a small silver bucket, and the watermen, they would have rowed you across the river to your desired destination. Okay, and that is a tradition that continues in London. Watermen like us carrying passengers like yourselves. Out here on the Thames, it's the very same licence we hold. It's over 500 years old. Now on your right, we have a lovely riverside establishment. This is the Anchor Pub. Now if you look closely on the sign there, okay, well you can see the golden sign, you see the name of the pub, and it says built 1615. So there's been a riverside pub here for over 400 years. And the likes of William Shakespeare, Samuel Pepys, Charles Dickens, myself and the captain. Just a few of the famous Englishmen who have drank in this pub. And we are going there tonight, folks. If you'd like to come and join us, me and the captain and our lovely crew, this is where we do our research, ladies and gents. So if you want to come and join us in there, perhaps you'd like to buy us a drink. That's where we'll be tonight. Come and join us for the education, it is for the research. We're just sailing beneath the Cannon Street railway bridge. Behind these buildings on your right, there's a very famous market. It's called the Borough Market, and it's famous for the food and the flowers. So a lovely place to visit, especially of an evening. We tend to go to the Anchor, we have a few drinks, and then we wander over to the Borough Market, get something to eat. Nice evening to spend over here. And this was the very first borough of London, the Borough of Southwark, to extend from the City of London, connected by London Bridge, which is ahead of us. Now on your right, this is the Golden Hind. That's the little pirate ship in the dock here, in between the buildings here. This is a sea-going replica of Sir Francis Drake's vessel. So Sir Francis Drake, he was the first English captain to circumnavigate or sail around the world. So the little ship you see there is a replica. It has been around the world twice. It's a fully working sea-going replica. Next on the right is Southwark Cathedral behind the trees here. It's a place of worship on this site for 1,000 years. Inside is the Harvard Chapel. This is named after John Harvard. He was the son of a local tradesman, and he became one of the co-founders of the prestigious Harvard University in the United States. So he was baptized in it, John Harvard. And on your left, there's the name, London Bridge. If you don't believe me, there's the name. This is it, folks. This is London Bridge. And this is said to be the 5th London Bridge to have stood here in as many as 2,000 years. The Romans, when they founded London, they built the first ever river crossing here in around 43 AD. However, this present-day bridge, it was opened in 1973 by Queen Elizabeth II. The blue glass building on your left now, okay, this is home to the London Association of Window Cleaners. And if you look beyond that, folks, can you see the tall building on the left? Okay, the one with the crane sticking up on top. Okay, up to your left, that building, the address is number 20 Fenchurch Street. And at the top is London's Sky Garden. And you can see the people up there, can you see them? No. Looking all the way up to your left, a few people up on the balcony. Now where they are, that is London's Sky Garden, and it can be visited for free. Okay, this is a free public viewing gallery. That is popular, okay, they do recommend you book in advance. So if you do an internet search for the Sky Garden, pop your details in and they let you go up there for free. And at the top there's a bar, a restaurant and a garden. I've been up there twice, thoroughly recommend it. It is free to go up there. You can also visit the Shard up to your right, the UK's tallest building. It's offices, restaurants, shops, apartments, there's a hotel. And at the top of the 72nd floor, a public viewing gallery. But they will charge you to go to the Shards about £30 to go up there. Now on your right, we have London's very own warship, the HMS Belfast. Permanently moored in, has been since the 1970s. It's a C-35 town class cruiser. It saw action throughout the Second World War, and it last fired its guns during the Korean campaign in the early 1950s. So its main armaments are these 6 cannons at the front, you've got 6 on aft at the back, and these guns, these cannons, they're capable of firing a 100-pound shell a distance of 14 land miles. It was launched on St. Patrick's Day in 1938, built in Belfast in Northern Ireland at the Harland and Wolff shipyard. The same place, the same shipyard that built the Titanic. And yes, it is a floating museum, definitely one to consider on a day like today. Okay, you can explore all 9 decks. You can go from the engine room all the way up to the radar deck. And that's it, we'll give these a wave. So there we go. You heard the sound signal, okay, you heard this earlier, okay, it means we're going to turn the boat. Okay, this time we're going round to the left, which means we'll have an unobstructed view on our right, folks, okay. You want to get a nice picture of the bridge, let us do the work, okay, we'll turn the boat, and an unobstructed view off to your right of one of London's most famous landmarks, okay, the iconic Tower Bridge. Now Tower Bridge, it is unique. It's the only bridge of its kind anywhere in the world, being both suspension bridge and bascule bridge. So the bascule part, that is the middle section. Okay, famously it opens like a double-sided drawbridge. This will allow large ships or tall-masted vessels in and out of the City of London. Now looking at the bridge, in each of the bridge footings underneath the towers, there is a giant counterweight mechanism, and that is what causes each of the bascules to raise. So they can be lifted to up to a 90-degree position in around 45 seconds. Tower Bridge is 131 years old. It was completed in 1894. Now a lot of people, they think it looks older, okay, but it was built in keeping with the Tower of London here on our right, which is much, much older. The Tower of London is nearly 1,000 years old. Construction started in 1078. Okay, the oldest part being the centre keep. This was constructed during the reign of William the Conqueror, dating back to 1078, folks. So very old indeed. Tower Bridge built in keeping with its close neighbour, the Tower of London, off to your right. If you'd like to see Tower Bridge open, the next scheduled bridge lift is actually tomorrow evening at 7:45 p.m. 7:45 p.m. for a large passenger vessel. That is the next scheduled time Tower Bridge will open. And the Tower of London on your right has served many purposes. It's been a royal mint, a royal observatory, an armory, a mint, a menagerie, a zoo, even a zoo. Probably the Tower of London, most famously or infamously known as a place of gruesome torture, imprisonment and execution. And have a look along the river's wall there now, folks. You can see the words, entry to the traitor's gate. This is where you were taken if you were guilty of treason, if you were a traitor. Now you'd be sentenced to death up at the Palace of Westminster. Rowed down the river from the Houses of Parliament. So you'd have made the exact same journey we've just made, but without a commentary. You'd have gone through this archway and you would have entered the Bloody Tower. Now if you were bound for the Bloody Tower, it meant only one thing. The following morning, you would have had surgically removed from your shoulders with a large blunt axe and a chopping block. They would have chopped off your heads. Now, persons of interest, royalty and nobility, the heads were then boiled, dipped in tar, and displayed on a spike back on London Bridge. Okay, but not the London Bridge we see now, the old medieval London Bridge. Heads were displayed as a gruesome deterrent to warn off any would-be traitors. This is what we refer to as the good old days, ladies and gents. Thankfully, they don't do that anymore. We have new methods, modern techniques, such as community service, rehabilitation. And it's steeped in history, as I say, the oldest part of the centre keep, all the various other surrounding components. They have been added over the centuries. So it's a bit of a mixed match of different eras, added by reigning monarchs over its rich timeline. Right then, folks, we're going to make our way alongside Tower Pier. Hold on tight for the bump. Okay, it's nice to see a few people enjoy themselves on the top deck. Okay, but please be advised, if you are standing as we come into contact with the pier, there may be a slight bump. Okay, there probably won't be, just in case. And stay on this boat if you are going to Greenwich. Is anyone going to Greenwich today? Anyone travelling with us to Greenwich? No? Okay, might be a few of you down below. Okay, so we do continue the cruise further down to Greenwich. Okay, so if you are travelling with us to Greenwich, please remain on board this boat. If you're leaving us here, have a little look around you. Okay, make sure you've got all your bags, cameras, shopping, souvenirs. And one last thing, if I may, just to mention about the commentary. As I mentioned before, we're not official tour guides. Okay, we are here as your crew. We like to make the effort. Hopefully something I've said has been of interest. Hopefully the live commentary has added to the experience. Okay, we do a voluntary as your crew. So with that in mind, we do have an old tradition. Okay, you will see me down below. I'll have with me our captain's lucky tip bucket. Okay, it looks like this. Feel free to throw anything you like. Okay, whatever you like into the old champagne bucket will be with me at the exit. The silent donation, the English banknotes, 5, 10, 20, 50 pound notes, euros, dollars, rings, watches, anything you like. Oh, contactless as well, we do that now, we can do a tap and go, finally got there with the card payment as well. Anything is welcome and all greatly appreciated. So thank you very much everybody, enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, cruise ship.